Hello and welcome to the video presentation of my Chi paper, Just Undo It, exploring undo mechanics in multi-user virtual reality. My name is Julian Rasch from the Media Informatics Group at LMU Munich, and I conducted this research together with my co-authors Florian Perzl, Yannick Weiss and Florian Müller. Let's get started. When working together or alone, mistakes and slips are bound to happen, often destroying progress and leading to frustration. In computer systems, an easy solution for this exists. Control-Z, or undo. This reverts the system to its state before the last action or actions, allowing for an easy recovery from mistakes. Because of this, the undo feature is one established solution to counter undesired changes in computer systems. Undo mechanics for traditional computer systems are well researched, initially as a single-user feature, but subsequent work from CSCW extends this to collaborative work as well. While many other established mechanics from traditional user interfaces like pointing, selecting, and manipulating are well researched and established in the domain of collaborative VR, the undo feature remains niche and only recently gained attention by researchers. To study the transferability of undo actions to the domain of social VR, we formulate 4 research hypotheses regarding users' performance, experience, social connectedness and interference, and evaluate them in our user study with 32 participants. In our user study, we tasked pairs of participants to construct a tower out of basic building blocks. To do so, they must pick up the blocks and stack them in a target area. The goal is to construct a tower as high as possible until the end of a 4-minute timer. Once the tower reaches a certain height, small mistakes can tip over the tower. When that happens, participants can use undo if available. In this case, the participant uses individual undo to revert the tower to before the collapse and places the block again, this time more careful, before continuing. Throughout the user study, we vary 2 independent variables, namely the undo technique and the collaboration mode. Participants experience 3 undo techniques established by related work, as well as 1 baseline with no undo available. A selective undo only affecting the selected blocks, an individual undo affecting all blocks of the user, and a world undo affecting all blocks in the scene. Depending on the collaboration mode, participants either construct a tower together or independent. This results in a 4x2 study design with a total of 8 conditions. For our mixed methods approach, we collected various data and responses throughout the study. We used 3 established questionnaires after each condition, namely the iOS, GEQ, and TLX. We used the iOS to measure the perceived psychological closeness to the other person, the behavioral involvement component of the social presence module of the game experience questionnaire to measure how much attention participants pay to their counterpart, and the raw TLX to measure how demanding participants perceive each condition. We further added a custom 5-point Likert questionnaire tailored to our use case. Beside the questionnaires, we logged participants' actions like number of grabs, number of undos, and the tower height throughout each condition. Additionally, we collected qualitative feedback in the form of participants' comments and remarks, both after each condition and upon completion of all conditions. For the description of our analysis and the presentation of all results, please read our paper. But let's take a look at some of our results. First, participants use the undo feature when available. This indicates there is a need for this feature also in the context of VR. Participants also stated that they enjoyed using the individual and world undo and want to use these features in the future. Second, the availability of undo did not improve users' performance significantly above the levels of the baseline. However, especially with the individual or world undo available, participants perceived their success higher and stated that the undo helped them recovering from mistakes. This is also reflected in the qualitative feedback we received, where participants stated they were not afraid to make mistakes and were willing to take risks when these features were available. And third, world undo connects users in the divided cases where social connectedness was otherwise low. However, it also increases the disturbance between participants when working divided. As a consequence, when designing undo features for collaborative VR, one must consider if social connectedness outweighs a potential mutual disturbance between participants. This calls for future studies to investigate the transferability of our findings to other collaborative use cases, and to gain a better understanding of potential applications for a selective undo, which was perceived not well in the context of our user study and the task on hand. And with that, I want to conclude this video presentation. Thank you for your interest in our research. If you have questions regarding the paper, have a look at the full publication and feel free to reach out to me.